Breaking research direct from sisterhoodsleuths.net. It turns out the ultimate brain-boosting formula isn't a pill, it's in your hands. The vault is open to deliver free books proven to challenge your mind, VIP sessions with author Kathy Warshaw, exclusive merch for the dedicated sleuth, and insider updates that keep your neurons firing. Welcome to the Sisterhood Sleuths podcast. Today's study, How Storytelling Can Make You Smarter, will uncover how mysteries train your brain to spot patterns, think critically, and communicate with precision, and why every clue you read could be rewiring you for success. All right, let's kick off this deep dive with a little mental warm-up, a thought experiment. Just imagine for a second you're faced with a puzzle. Could be anything, really. Maybe something confusing at work, data not quite lining up, or maybe it's, a friend acting strangely and you're trying to figure out what's going on. You've got these fragments, right? Little bits of information, maybe a weird comment someone made. How do you piece it all together? What's your process for figuring out what's really happening? Okay, so hold that thought. Now, what if I told you that the best way to sharpen those exact skills, your critical thinking, your problem-solving chops, isn't some intense training course, but something, well, way more fun, like just getting lost in a really good story?
That's a great way to put it. And it's exactly let's call it the magic we're diving into today. We're looking at an article by Kathy Warshaw called How Storytelling Can Make You Smarter, The Magic of Mysteries. And our mission really is to unpack how reading, especially mysteries, goes beyond just entertainment, how it actually works as a powerful tool for, training your brain. Kathy Warshaw's perspective here is super insightful, I think.
Okay, let's get into that. Warshaw starts off by saying something pretty obvious but important. Stories are everywhere. Books, yeah, but also movies, games, even how the news is presented, they're all around us. But her key question is, what is it about them that makes our brains, as she says, work hard? What's actually happening in there?
Yeah, and that's the fascinating part Warshaw really nails. Engaging with the story. It's not passive at all. Not really. Think about it. When you're reading, your brain is fired up. You're actively imagining things, the scene, the characters' faces, the atmosphere. You're constantly processing motivations, trying to understand why characters do, what they're feeling. It's like running little simulations of people in your head. And crucially, you're always trying to guess what's next, right? Forming hypotheses. So this active mental workout, this constant engagement, that's what Warshaw identifies as the exercise for your mind. It's this effort, she argues, that literally helps make us smarter, like building cognitive muscle.
That active engagement piece. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It feels different than just, say, reading a list of facts. And this is where mysteries get really interesting, isn't it? Warshaw calls critical thinking the detective's superpower. That's quite a statement. So how does reading a whodunit actually turn us, the readers, into these mental detectives? What's special about mysteries?
That's a great question, and Warshaw breaks it down really nicely. First off, she talks about paying attention to details, meticulous attention. See, unlike maybe some other stories, mysteries deliberately hide important clues in small details.
Ah, okay. Like that offhand comment or that object just sitting on the mantelpiece?
Exactly. Those aren't just window dressing. They could be crucial. And your brain learns pretty quickly to filter these potential clues from the red herrings,
Your distractions.
Right, the tricks and meant to mislead you. So it's intense training in focus and pattern recognition. You're learning to spot what matters in a sea of information. Then the second point Warshaw makes is about asking questions. Mysteries just naturally make you do it.
Yeah, who did it is the obvious one, but also why and how.
Precisely. And this constant questioning isn't just curiosity, it's the core of investigation. Warshaw points out, and I think this is key, that asking good questions is a key life skill. You're basically practicing hypothesis generation, testing assumptions, questioning everything. And third, there's thinking logically. Solving a mystery isn't just random guessing. Warshaw describes it as putting clues together, step by step, like solving a math problem.
So it's structured thinking.
Very much so. You're using deduction, going from general principles to specific clues, and induction, using specific clues to build a bigger picture. This whole process builds a strong logical framework in your mind. It helps you see cause and effect, spot inconsistencies, build arguments, skills that are useful absolutely everywhere, not just in books.
Okay, so it's definitely a workout for the logical brain. Attention, questioning, logic. But Warshaw also suggests it goes beyond just solving the puzzle, right? She talks about broader life skills. So it's not just about being a better thinker in that narrow sense. What does this mean for us day to day?
Exactly. It's not just cognitive calisthenics. Warshaw connects it beautifully to real-world abilities. A big one is understanding people better. Think about the characters in mysteries. They're often complex, maybe unreliable.
You're always trying to figure out who's telling the truth, what their motives are.
Right. And by engaging with these different feelings and points of view, as Warshaw puts it, you're essentially practicing empathy. You're getting better at reading people, understanding subtext, developing what psychologists call theory of mind. That boosts your social intelligence, which is, let's face it, vital for navigating relationships and work. And another thing she mentions is communicating better.
How does reading help with that?
Well, Warshaw notes that good stories use clear language and interesting words. Just by reading well-written prose and dialogue, you absorb effective ways to communicate. Your vocabulary grows, you get a better feel for sentence structure, for how to tell a compelling story yourself. So it helps you write and speak better, she says. It's learning by exposure. And finally, there's creativity. Stories, especially mysteries with their twists and turns, expose you to new worlds and ideas.
Pushing you outside your usual thinking patterns?
Absolutely. They encourage you to think outside the box, to consider unusual possibilities, to be more flexible in your thinking when you face problems in your own life. It exercises that divergent thinking muscle.
Wow, okay, so it's like a full package upgrade. Sharper thinking, better social skills, stronger communication, and more creativity. All from reading mysteries. That's pretty compelling. And the great thing is, Kathy Warshaw doesn't just leave it there. She gives practical tips, right? How to read mysteries like a pro. For listeners wanting to really lean into this, what does she suggest?
Yeah, she makes it really actionable, which I appreciate. Her first tip is super simple, but effective. Take notes.
Like actually write things down.
Yep. Jot down clues, suspects, and your guesses. She says it keeps your mind sharp, makes you actively process the information. From a learning standpoint, writing stuff down really helps consolidate it.
Okay, I can see that. It forces engagement.
Next, she says make predictions. Actively try to guess what's going to happen. Who did it? What's the next twist? And then this is the important part, reflect afterwards. Were you right? If not, what did you miss?
So it's about learning from your misses too.
Exactly. It's metacognition, thinking about your own thinking. It helps you spot your own biases or where your logic went astray, really refines your analytical skills. Another great one. Discuss with friends. Talk about the book.
Because someone else might see things differently.
Totally. Warshaw says a friend maybe noticed something you didn't. It opens up new perspectives, challenges your interpretation, and just talking about it helps solidify your own understanding. It's like collaborative problem-solving practice.
And her final tip is a bit more involved, but powerful. Try writing your own mystery.
Whoa, okay, that sounds like a challenge.
It is. But she argues it boosts your creativity like nothing else because you have to apply all these skills. You need to plot, hide clues cleverly, create believable characters, make it logical but surprising. It's the ultimate test, really.
Right. So wrapping this up then, Kathy Warshaw's argument is pretty clear. Reading mysteries isn't just killing time. Far from it. It's this active, engaging process that sharpens your mind in so many ways. Makes you a better thinker, maybe a more understanding person, definitely a better problem solver. It's impressive how she unpacks something so enjoyable and reveals these deeper benefits. She really does show the magic of mysteries. She really does. Her insights are so clear, aren't they? She connects this everyday pleasure to some pretty profound cognitive development. It turns reading into this sort of stealth mental training program. And that final thought she leaves us with, it's powerful. When you pick up that next mystery, you're not just escaping, you are, in her words, actively training your brain for life's biggest mysteries. Oh, mass. So maybe the next time you face a complex situation in your own life, a big decision, a tricky relationship, whatever it is, think about those skills you've been honing, spotting clues, understanding motives, watching out for those red herrings. How can you apply that detective mindset? What are the real clues in front of you right now? And what questions maybe haven't you asked yet?
The data's clear. Mysteries don't just entertain, they evolve your mind. Now it's time to run your own experiment. Head to sisterhoodsleuths.net, claim your free books, lock in your VIP access, and join a community designed to keep your curiosity sharp and your thinking unstoppable. The test begins the moment you say yes.